our top 10 most anticipated movies of 2025. There's a lot. You know, the writer's strike. The writer's strike really delayed a lot of these bigger movies from 2024 to 2025. And so now we have a summer that looks ridiculous. It doesn't even seem real. I'm not going to lie. But
Captain America 4 is sweeping.
We're going to go through our top 10. We're going to go one by one. We'll start with some honorable mentions because, you know, there's some that didn't quite make our lists that we want to acknowledge. You can name yours off first.
Okay. So for one of my honorable mentions, I'm going to say the Lilo and Stitch live action movie.
He looks so good.
But that's the reason, right? And that Lilo and Stitch live action design is so good. Perfect. And they got the voice. They got the same dude voicing Stitch. And the way that they're going about with the marketing for Stitch, I'm there. So I can't wait to see what that is like. I think it's going to be a banger.
Mm-hmm. Any more?
Another one. Mortal Kombat 2. Hear me out. Hear me out before everybody gets, hey, what? The first one was trash and this and that. Hear me out. Okay. Big Mortal Kombat guy. Like, I love the video games. I used to play them sacrilegiously. Like, dude, like, I used to play them so freaking much. And as far as the first Mortal Kombat movie goes that released during the pandemic was 2021? 2022?
I think 2021.
I think it was 2021. As far as that movie goes, I didn't hate it. I actually really liked some elements of it that I feel like were missing from the old Mortal Kombat movie. Even though I think that one is a bit more, you know, true to what it's adapting. I feel like there's some things, there's some bright spots in that 2021 movie that I like. The effects were pretty good. I liked like the different costume designs and some of the castings. Like Kano was just a great like character.
He was like the standout from that movie.
The fatalities looked amazing. Sick. I mean, the Kung Lao fatality still lives in my head rent free, bro. Flawless victory. Like, bro,
which didn't really make sense in the movie, but like
it doesn't, but I don't care, right? I do not care. It's a Mortal Kombat movie. So I am looking forward to Mortal Kombat 2. Carl Urban is playing Johnny Cage. Like, he's probably gonna just steal the entire movie.
We'll see how it is. We'll see.
We'll see. I hope it's really good. So that's another one of my honorable mentions. And then of course, Ballerina. From the world of John Wick, Ballerina. My mistake. The trailer that came out, really liked it. I really liked it. I think Ana de Armas is gonna be, you know, pretty good. And yeah, I mean, just more from the world of John Wick. Even though I didn't watch the Continental series, I think this looks pretty good. And you know, I'm always down for some action flicks. Big action guy over here, so Ballerina looks pretty good to me. I can't wait for that. And then second to last, got How to Train Your Dragon live action adaptation. I'm just gonna be quite honest with you guys, okay? I'm kind of on the fence about this movie because while I think they're gonna knock it out of the park, I also think that there are some things as far as the trailer goes that, you know, could not hit and just feel like a poor imitation of trying to be the animation.
Yeah,
but, you know, you got the same composer. You got the score,
same director.
Right?
Everyone's
same
pretty much
director.
Everyone's
you got some pretty good castings in there, bro. You got Gerard Butler playing the role, bro. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, there's some things in there that just speak to me. The really accurate designs of the dragons to the animation. I can't wait for How to Train Your Dragon, honestly. And then lastly, from my honorable mentions, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Obviously, it doesn't need to be said. I mean, we got like one set photo from it, or like one little Entertainment Weekly photo from it, and obviously it just looks beautiful. But yeah, Guillermo del Toro is, you know, a director of mine that a director's work that I just really appreciate overall. And seeing him tackle a monster movie like a Frankenstein, I just can't wait for it. His tones and stuff like that, I can't wait. So those are my honorable mentions. Okay.
That's nice. Now, I do some of my honorable mentions, or I think just one, was How to Train Your Dragon. So I'm not gonna use that. I'll just talk about a different 5.
Okay.
Or just like there's a ton I could list off. Like, I'm excited for the Predator movie, the Shrouds, the upcoming Cronenberg movie, Marty Supreme, one of the Safdie brothers movie with Timothée Chalamet, and then like Friendship with Paul Rudd. But the main ones, like right on the cusp of my top 10, are number 1, Fantastic Four. Well, I guess that would be number 15 or 5. But the Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four. I just have to see something because, like, there's so many things that I'm hearing that sound good. I'm seeing, like, Mole Man structures being made behind the scenes, and I love the cast. And obviously, like, the aesthetic they're going for, but, like, it's outside the MCU. And, like, I don't know exactly what story we're telling here because, like, we got Galactus as the villain and Silver Surfer's in it, apparently. So are we doing a Rise of the Silver Surfer situation again? Or, like, how are they going to come into the MCU? Is this
even rumors of Doom being in the movie?
That's what I was going to say, was how are they going to set up Dr. Doom if that's happening? A lot of questions.
We're not going to know until we see.
But, I like the aesthetic, the cast. I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. I just, that RDJ casting, like, crushed me. Like, so, like, I just hope that this ends up being good. Matt Shakman, obviously a well-known figure in the television space, and that's kind of my hesitation, is he has not made a movie in over a decade, and he's only made one, and it's not the best. And so this is a big leap, jumping from, the shows, and, he's done a bunch of great television that I love, but I'm curious to see how this jump exactly goes. And then for my number 4, it's going to be The Life of Chuck, man. This movie by Mike Flanagan with Tom Hiddleston, and it's based on, I want to say it's based on a Stephen King book. I don't know if I'm sure, but everything about it sounds phenomenal. It's got nothing but praises from festival circuits. It was supposed to drop this year, but they pushed it to next year because they think it has true chances for maybe a screenplay award, just big awards buzz coming from it, and just the wholesomeness that comes off of this film. I hear there's sequences that are amazing, and it just follows the life of this person, from a child to obviously being an elder, but how much his positivity affects the people around him. And I just love a message like that. And everything I hear about it, it's like everything is positive about it. Every time I hear someone talk about it, I've seen reviews, and it's just got me very interested. And then I'm gonna go with for number 3, The Toxic Avenger. I don't know if this is dropping this year. Listen, I don't know if it's dropping this year.
Really?
So this is like a flip-flop. Like, if this isn't, then I'll say Wicked for good. But if it is, The Toxic Avenger takes that place. Obviously with Wicked, I wasn't expecting much from the first part. I didn't even know much about Wicked outside of a couple things related to Wizard of Oz. Now I'm hype. Now I'm there. I'm there for part 2. Absolutely. The Toxic Avenger, just, it's one of those things. I think it's made by Megan Blair. He was in Oppenheimer.
I did not think that Toxic Avenger would be.
I've just been looking for this so much ever since it premiered 2 years ago at film festivals, and they haven't give it a distribution. They haven't given it a release date. So for a year, the whole year of 2024, I was looking for The Toxic Avenger. When is it dropping? Nothing. And I'm scared this might not even release.
Peter Dinklage is out there fighting for his life, man.
Yeah, and I just like I mean, the OG, it's a bit sensitive, like, with what it's doing. So if you got a weak stomach, or the way society is now, you would never be able to release that movie today. But it's just the schlockiness, just the raunchiness, just like just everything I hear from it, and how Macon Blair approached it. He knows what kind of movie it is, and even the trailer, it's got a little camp to it. Like, I love everything about it, and then obviously the effects, the gore, all that. I just want to see it. That's mainly my reason for being so excited. And then for my 2, I'm gonna say Mickey 17. Obviously, The trailer, amazing. Come from the same guy.
I thought the trailer was like.
I thought it was really good, but it's coming from the man that did Parasite, The Host, and you got Robert Pattinson playing two people, and it just looks like a utter blast of a movie. It was supposed to come out.
Even be bad. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It was supposed to come out in January. Now, March. They were smart for that. And I'm really looking forward to that. And then what was that? My 2? And then for my 1, I'm gonna say I mean, obviously you said How to Train Your Dragon, so I'll throw in I'm looking at my list here. Maybe a Jurassic World, maybe. I mean, you know, I'm really excited.
We are
for
on very opposite sides right now. I'm just gonna let you know that.
I would also throw in Begonia too, but that has like, we haven't heard pretty much nothing other than like the synopsis. And you know, I like Yorgos Lanthimos' films, and the concept itself sounds interesting, of two people like kidnapping this person they think is from space, and it's just like, it just sounds like a ton of fun. I think Emma Stone might be playing the quote-unquote alien, but yeah, I'd say Jurassic World then is probably up there. They've got David Koepp coming back to screenwrite from the original Jurassic Park, Gareth Edwards at the helm, so it's probably gonna look visually stunning, and the scope and scale is gonna be great. We're gonna get into our top 10, 9, 8. You know, we're gonna go back and forth, give out our quick thoughts on why we're excited. For me, I'll start. My number 10 is Sinners. Ryan Coogler. Apparently vampires. Michael B. Jordan playing twins in the Jim Crow era. All I need. I didn't even need a trailer, but when we did get it, in the second I heard
that trailer on IMAX,
Ludwig's music, and it be shot for IMAX, yeah, I'm there day one. Go ahead and drop your 10.
My 10 is gonna be Karate Kid Legends.
Ooh, okay.
You know, come on, man. I mean, we watched the trailer, banger trailer, right? You had like the cooler Chinese vibes. You got, is it Ben Wong or Ben Wang? I don't know, but he's our Karate Kid, and he looks great. Like, he looks great in the role. We got the Karate Kid multiverse collapsing on itself.
I know. I wonder how
Jackie
these
Chan
are going to connect, and what nods
meeting
to
Ralph
the franchise.
Macchio, and I'm just I'm so there. Like, it looks good. The actual karate stuff in terms of like the choreography and stuff looks like it's going to be, you know, some of the best, if not, you know, the best.
I hope
so I can't wait. It's my number 10.
Yeah, for number 9, I've got Nobody 2. Listen. I adore that first Nobody. That being coming out during the pandemic, Bob Odenkirk in this John Wick type movie, and it was amazing. The use of music, the style, and just how much they were able to kind of flesh out, but still like simply tell a story in under 90 minutes. And it's like, you got the dude who did The Night Comes for Us in here now. It's most likely going to take that leap.
He's never watched that movie.
I've never seen it, but I hear amazing things from the action, the world building. I hear amazing things. And
the action is incredible.
I feel like this is going to take that jump that John Wick 2 took, where we flesh out more of this world. And I'm just interested to see Bob Odenkirk back in this role, getting beat up, getting roughed up.
Bob Odenkirk is going to be like 100 and nobody.
I wonder if Christopher Lloyd will be in here too. I'm just really excited for it. I love that first film. So that's going to be my number 9. You go ahead and give us your number 9.
My number 9 is 28 Years Later. Okay. And the reason it is number 9 and not a little bit higher is just on the fact that I haven't watched 28 Days Later. Right. So I'm not like, you know, super accustomed
like
to
that could go up
the franchise. Yeah, it could go up after I watched 28 Days Later. But yeah, I was really impressed with the trailer. I mean, it was just a phenomenal trailer.
Watching that trailer in IMAX, by the way, was
I missed it
ridiculous.
Unfortunately in IMAX, and
the fact that movie is shot on an iPhone
myself
is absurd.
That is also ridiculous. So yeah, that's my number 9. I really like the trailer. I really like the way it looks. I'm really intrigued as to what kind of story that they're going to tell.
It's supposed to start off a new trilogy. It's supposed to kick off an entirely new trilogy too. Which is crazy.
That's my number 9. Can't wait for 28 years later.
All right, my number 8 is going to be Avatar: Fire and Ash. Okay. Listen, I am not the biggest fan of the first Avatar. So, like, if this was, like, the second, it wouldn't even be in my 10. But after that second, it's in there. Like, I am
Way of Water is a banger.
Yeah, The Way of Water was phenomenal. And we've got the technology now to where it doesn't just feel like a technological, like a presentation of technology the way like that first Avatar kind of does. It's very derivative story and narratively, but like it got that hype because just what it did in 2009 technically was ridiculous. And obviously in The Way of Water, they obviously broke through with some technology there, but the story and the characters were far more interesting, fleshed out, affecting. And this, dealing with the Fire Tribe, I am beyond excited. What's your number 8, though?
My number 8 is Sinners. Okay, and it is Sinners because, again, watching that trailer in IMAX laser was impeccable. Like, I mean, Ryan Coogler, let's just get one thing out the way, right? Ryan Coogler is a phenomenal director.
Hasn't missed.
He knows what he's doing, and I just watching the trailer, you can tell Ryan Coogler is he's ripping his shirt and his hair out at the fact that he has to hold back, doing the trailer. Like, he's holding back in that trailer. You just know he is.
I'm curious to see what they
sound design. Ludwig's score, the cinematography, Michael B. Jordan playing twins. I mean, dude, the trailer just had me like, I just love the way that this trailer, looks and stuff like that. And I can't wait to watch this movie. I think it's going to be, one of Ryan Coogler's best.
I hope so.
And that says a lot. So. That says a ton.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and move on. Number 7. My number 7 is The Running Man. I mean, we've got, Edgar Wright.
I thought this was going to be in your honorable mentions.
No.
But, okay.
No.
I see. Okay. It's in your top 10. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a humongous fan of Edgar Wright. Hasn't made a single bad movie, and he just cares. His scripts are so read through, and he takes his time to make a film. And he delivers every time. Last Night in Soho was like the one time where like he stumbled a little bit, but that's a pandemic movie. And that was phenomenal. Had like iconic imagery in it. And the themes of it was extremely deep. Edgar Wright just tackling a classic, remake of a classic, The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you guys have never watched it, it's not the best, but right now it only benefits because back then it was made before reality television was even like a thing, and obviously it was a lot more sillier and campier. And with this going into it as a remake, we can expect a lot of that levity, especially with Edgar Wright at the helm. But now with reality television, he can commentate on that a little more. And I don't know what the budget of this is, but I just know Edgar Wright's gonna give us a big world. Like, he's gonna flesh things out. He got what, like 80 million or something for Scott Pilgrim, and that film looks phenomenal. Like, it looks amazing. And I'm expecting the touches from his editing to his style of comedy. I love Edgar Wright, and Glenn Powell being the leading man. Like, this got the right ingredients to it. So that's my number 7. What's yours?
All right. My number 7 is actually Jurassic World. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And this is solely because of the fact that Gareth Edwards is doing the movie. Listen here, people.
That's understandable.
Listen here. Is my mic working? Guys, I love Gareth Edwards. Like, I love his work so bad. And the fact that he's tackling a Jurassic World movie is like,
it's like
not only is it something that I never could have imagined in like 1,000 million bajillion years, but I know who Gareth Edwards is. And the fact that he has this glorious IP like the Jurassic IP, right? And he's tackling it sparks all the more confidence, because Gareth Edwards ain't gonna come in and just take a payday.
Yeah, I'm sure he knows the franchise is down.
big franchise, and cool. I get to do a Jurassic World movie. Oh wow, there's a lot of zeros on my contract. Okay, well, I'll just do this movie for you guys. No, he's gonna try and knock it out of the goddamn park, and so I cannot wait. And the cast with Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali, like I'm really intrigued as to what kind of story Gareth Edwards is gonna tell. And like you said, with the original writer coming back, I wonder what they're gonna go with. It kind of seems a little bit like they're going back to the roots of the OG movies, but just knowing Gareth Edwards is on it, I cannot wait for that movie. So that's my number 7.
Well said. My number 6, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Boom.
This franchise, now don't hate me for what I'm gonna say. While I think it has gotten better and better each installment, I do think Dead Reckoning was like the stopping point. Like, I think we've kind of reached like how good these movies can get. I am curious to see if I eat my words with The Final Reckoning, but I really enjoyed Dead Reckoning. And if this is the final installment, hopefully this is a great crescendo to the franchise. I think this is the longest running franchise. Movie franchise. I can't think of a movie franchise that's longer running like consistently. You can say Tron, but come on, we're not counting Tron. We're not counting that type of stuff like legacy sequels like Twisters.
Fast and Furious.
No, that's not longer. Fast and Furious started in like 01.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm very excited. You got Tom Cruise back, the whole gang, and I want to see how this concludes. I want it to be emotionally satisfying, and that trailer is amazing. And yeah, that's my number 6. What about you?
My number 6 is F1.
Okay.
And I'm going to be
really
honest
close
with you guys. Here. It would have been higher if I got more out of that trailer, but that trailer was enough to put it in.
Go watch our trailer reaction for that.
Let me tell you something. That trailer was more than enough to put it in this top 10. Seeing as it's in my number 6 spot. Again, Joseph Kosinski is doing the movie. He's just, he knows what he's doing. Like, he just knows what he's doing. And the fact that he's doing a racing movie, we don't got a lot of amazing looking and amazing racing movies. And so the fact that he's tackling this with Brad Pitt in the role, he's probably gonna it's super expensive. So it's probably gonna look super expensive. And the kinds of filming techniques that Kosinski is probably gonna utilize on this movie is, as you can see from the trailer, it's looking like it's gonna be really good. And with Damson Idris being in the mix, and I can't say enough. And the F1 tag, you're probably gonna have some like cool ass posters and cool ass tags.
There's probably gonna be so many cameos.
Like, it's just called
so
F1.
F1
I like that
racing
it's just called F1.
I know that is.
I cannot wait for this movie. I truly think it's gonna be like the Top Gun of racing movies. So I can't wait. That was easy to slide in my top 10, but that's my number 6.
That's my number 5. So yeah, we're like pretty right there with it. You just took the words out of my mouth. Joseph Kosinski now has not made the greatest movies, but one thing you can expect every time, it's going to be technically well crafted. We don't talk about Spiderhead. That was a movie he made just for Netflix because there were zeros on the paper. But when we're talking about the movies that he wanted to make, I'm not even the biggest fan of Tron Legacy, but other than CGI Jeff Bridges, the movie on a technical level is like ridiculous.
Amazing.
Like ridiculous. And Top Gun, enough said. That was my favorite movie of 2022. And it's like him taking that same approach, that same experience he's had over the last decade, doing a racing movie where, we've got the Ford versus Ferraris, the Grand Prix, even Gran Turismo I enjoyed, Rush, but there's not an abundance of phenomenal racing movies like you said. He has the chance to make that humongous splash, and I'm so eager to see what he brings to this. Brad Pitt's in the role, like enough said, and that trailer got me hyped. Go watch our trailer reaction. Yeah, that's my number 5.
Super hype.
Go ahead and give your top.
My number 5.
Not in the top 5, by the way.
We're in the top 5 now. My number 5 is going to be Superman. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Superman is in my top 5. I'm going to tell you why it's in my 5. Okay, I'm going to tell you why it's 5 and not any more higher. Okay. Well, number 1, the movies that are higher than Superman on this list, they kind of deserve to be. I'm just gonna be straight honest with you. All right. Also, the trailer just, I don't know, like it was good, but it wasn't enough for me to just right out just be like, I can't wait. This movie's gonna be like the best thing ever. It's my most anticipated movie. There's a couple movies lined up that I resonate more with the creators behind it and the ideas behind it. But I mean, yeah, the reason it's at number 5 is, again, there's some stuff also that I like about this trailer. This crypto being in the mix is really, it's a change of pace. It's a fresh breath of air for, really just superhero movies in general. I mean, even though we saw Cosmo and Guardians 3, I feel like crypto is just a whole nother, this is just a whole different, ballpark we're in here. So, and then you got like, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, who's probably just gonna kill it in the role. And the Clark and Lois dynamic looks like it's gonna be good. And it's really going back to those roots of, that classic Superman and that super, colorful and bright Superman. But at the same time, looks like it's trying to tell a more, a deeper story, within Superman's character and the emotional battles that he toils with. So yeah, that's why it's only at my number 5. But nonetheless, I am hyped for Superman because, I mean, it's Superman. Superman is just dope as hell. Yeah. Cape flapping. Boots looking majestic. So I can't wait for the movie. That's my number 5. It's probably higher on your list. That's my number 5.
My number 4, you had in your honorable mentions. It's Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Other than the fact that this is a Netflix movie, release your movies in theaters when they look worth it. Netflix, please. I would have loved to see The Killer in theaters. Would have loved to do that.
Oh, The Killer in theaters would have been.
But yeah, I mean, Guillermo del Toro, monster movie. Do I need to say more? He basically gave us one with The Shape of Water, and I love that movie. And he just has not. I don't think he's missed for me, like, at all. Well, from what I've seen. Love the Hellboy movies. Love Pan's Labyrinth. Love, obviously I said Shape of Water. What else Pacific Rim. Gas.
Love Pacific Rim.
And then his last Pinocchio movie was amazing. Like, he's one of those people that obviously, he doesn't just, he's not a hired gun. He hops on a script and he takes it seriously. And that's why I'm so excited for this. My only downside is the Jacob Elordi casting from Andrew Garfield. It was a downgrade, but I think Jacob Elordi is very talented. It's just, I mean, it's Andrew Garfield. Like, that would have been iconic.
Almost anybody is a downgrade from Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. It's but I'm curious to see how it turns out. I'm really excited for it. So that's my number 4. What's yours?
My number 4 is Fantastic Four. See what I did there?
Okay.
See what I did there? Okay. I totally did not do that on purpose, by the way. Okay, so let's just get into it. It's my number 4 because Pedro Pascal is in the movie. I love me some Pedro Pascal. Vanessa Kirby's in the movie. I feel like Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal's dynamic. I feel like they are casted for a reason. And I feel like
they're about to
dynamic
be explosive. They're about to be dynamite.
Explosive. You're about to see so many edits and people on Twitter talking about, oh my God, Sue Richards, Reed Storm, look at them. They just look so
Rue. They're about to, oh my God,
I bet you it's just gonna be a banger. You got Evan Moss Backrack in here, arguably the best character in the Bear. Like I'm sorry, Cousins a goat. So I can't wait to see him in the role as Ben Grimm.
Joseph Quinn doesn't look like he's related to Sue Storm at all.
Nah, in all honesty, I don't think Joseph Quinn is gonna be that bad. And I think
he's got the charm
that they're going for. Yeah, I think he's gonna have a certain charm that might work with the movie. The retro futuristic aesthetic of the movie. I've already seen.
Oh, the score! I forgot to mention that score, man.
I was just about to say, I've already seen Galactus. From the Disney
Comic-Con
from the D23 event or whatever. Yeah. I saw that, dude. I mean, come on, comic accurate Galactus, a chilling shot of him just looking into a building, just massive looking, and then the score, dude. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four theme sounds great. Galactus's theme.
It's
just thinking about it.
I mean, Michael Giacchino.
Just thinking about it, hairs are raising. Michael Giacchino is doing the score. So yes, I cannot wait for this movie. I think it's gonna be a super refresher for the MCU. I think it's gonna be something where, you know, after the releases of Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts, once you get this movie and
we're gonna be in the stuff that's probably hype train, hype mode.
I think the marketing behind this movie is going to be fantastic. I mean, I'm all in. I'm all in on this movie. So that's fine. Fantastic Four is my number 4.
Nice. My number 3 is 28 Days Later. I mean, go look at
years.
28 years later. Go look at our reaction. I just love that original film from Danny Boyle. He also one of the directors where from what I've seen, he has not missed for me. He's made some of my favorite movies ever.
Slumdog Millionaire. One of my most
28 Days Later, one of the most inventive and best horror movies of all time. And then Sunshine, one of the most criminally underrated movies of all time. And a sci-fi movie that deserves to be in the books. Like, phenomenal. And yeah, everything about this starting a new trilogy, him taking these same kind of raw approaches to 28 years later, that cast refined. Cillian Murphy's apparently coming back. ATJ, Jodie Comer. Like, I mean, there is some stars in here, and just that trailer was... Seeing that trailer in IMAX did something different to me. I'm not even gonna lie. My bodily fluids were functioning on a different level.
Did something.
Yeah, but I mean, there's more I could gush about, but I just love that first film so much, and I'm curious to see how this tackles that lore and kind of that world, and how this starts this new trilogy apparently. But that's my number 3. Give yours.
My number 3, Avatar, Fire and Ash. 2 words, James Cameron. I mean, what can I say? James Cameron is just him. Like, I'm sorry. James Cameron is a coveted director who has done multiple blockbuster movies, and every single one is a banger. Like, I mean, I just really love what James Cameron does. Every time he releases a movie, it just speaks to me. Like, he has this energy, this blockbuster energy that's kind of lost right now. And I just can't wait. And the world that he's built when it comes to Avatar, I mean, not only can you tell that James Cameron is all in on it, and it's like his most prized possession ever.
Yeah, he's making like 30 of these.
I mean, The Way of Water looked absolutely incredible.
Phenomenal. The 3D too.
One of the, honestly, yeah, the usage of 3D, it's just visually, as far as the theatrical experience goes, one of the greatest theatrical experience, if not the greatest that I've ever had. And then you see the concept artwork for Fire and Ash, and you see the kind of story that he wants to tell with Fire and Ash. I feel like there's going to be it looks crazy. I feel like there's going to be some layers here with what he wants to do with that tribe and the characters. And I feel like he's going to like up it from The Way of Water in terms of some deep and like emotional maturity. Layers and maturity. Yeah, I feel like he's just gonna take it up a notch. And yeah, I've just been looking forward to this for so long. I really love the world that he's built out here when it comes to the Na'vi and the whole Avatar world. So seeing the Fire and Ash people, though, I think this is gonna be. I can't wait to just. It's kind of crazy that like it releases in December, because like
I think
the last one did too.
Pumping these
and
now.
It's just crazy
now that they've got the technology. I think like he's going in now.
It's just crazy to me that like these big massive blockbusters, because you know James Cameron is just, he's a blockbuster guy. It's crazy to me that he just like is like, oh, December should be cool, December should be fine. It's just crazy to me. But yeah, I cannot wait for Avatar. James Cameron, you are my GOAT. Your movie this year is in my number 3.
Nice. My number 2, the man himself, Superman. I mean, what can I say about this movie that I have not gushed over? It's the start of an entirely new cinematic universe. And just the approach they're going with this, it just checks everything for me, man. From, I understand the hesitation with all these other characters, and I'm there with you. Obviously, I'm not like, oh, this movie's gonna be bad because of it, but I think if anything, like, if handled correctly, if executed well, like, this could be our modern day, like, our adaptation of a Kingdom Come, Superman versus the Elite type of story. And I just love the way everything is looking from, like, the Daily Planet. It just looks like it is so alive. Like, it looks like people are walking in and out of there and have big personalities, and the interactions between characters look like they're gonna be amazing. I mean, Clark and Lois, they just look so perfect. Like, everything about them is like, I'm gonna love them. And then obviously the inclusion of Krypto was amazing, and just the cast. And I love what this movie is doing visually. It doesn't look like the best thing since sliced bread, but I think for this genre where the MCU is getting a little stale to some people, and we just had 3 stinkers from Sony in 1 year.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of injection the superhero genre needs right now, because obviously Beyond the Spider-Verse is going through its challenges.
Yeah.
Shameik more. And then, but yeah, when I look at movies to, like, inspire and to kind of lead us in the proper directions, it's a movie like this. I'm not asking every comic book movie after this to look like Superman. I'm asking it to look different like Superman. Superman does not look like everything else. It is taking visual approaches and swings that you might not like, but it's taking them, and I fully appreciate that, and it's what we need. And just the injection of color and brightness and the inspiration and hope that I felt from that trailer, it's everything. Obviously, James Gunn at the helm, he's like 7 for 7 at this point with comic book projects for me. So until I'm like, I get proven or knocked off the seesaw or something in some way, it's, I'm hyped for it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this huge cinematic universe begins. But go ahead and give your number 2.
My number 2 is Michael.
Okay.
And I know that is kind of crazy because there is no trailer for it or anything, but listen, hear me out here, everybody. I'm just gonna be straight up honest. I'm probably the biggest Michael Jackson fan on this platform. I'm just gonna be honest.
On this platform, I'm sure there's dedicated Michael Jackson accounts.
I mean, I don't mean on this platform. I just mean this side of the platform. This movie sphere, cape shit comic book movie side of this sphere. I think I'm the biggest Michael Jackson fan by far. I mean, if it wasn't for me, just being super little and listening to Michael Jackson all the time, I would have so much. I would have so much memorabilia from when I was younger. If we just kept it, yeah. We had probably 20 of those gloves. I love Michael Jackson, and everything about this movie points to it being a banger. From the people, the casting of Michael Jackson. I think it's his nephew.
I think so.
Just looks like a spitting image of Michael. Like, just the casting and the directors, the writers, all the technical elements. I think. It's not just that I think that it's going to be, a technical masterpiece and, it just can't be bad. I fully think that it has to be, and that those working on the film feel that as well. The obligation, I truly feel like there's this collective mind on this movie where everybody is on top and everybody feels like this has to be the greatest thing, so we have to get the greatest minds, and everything has to be the best. So I cannot wait for this movie. I think it's going to be one of the best movies of the year, like top 5 type of thing. And I think it's going to be one of my favorite movies personally of all time, because I'm just a huge Michael Jackson fan, and what he's done to me in my personal life just means so much. So that's why it's my number 2, even without a trailer. But let that trailer drop, it'll probably get number 1.
Now I'm curious what your number 1 is, but My number 2 is, or my number 1 is what he just said, Michael. Now, for all the reasons that you just said, I want to give a little bit of some hesitation because I think everything about this looks good so far. My only hesitation, I have 2 hesitations. One, will they tackle some of the controversial and problematic stuff, or will they play it safe and just do the biopic from the rise of a star, or will we actually dive deep into some of that stuff? And then my second is I don't know his name. I'm blanking on his name, but the person playing Michael Jackson, obviously his nephew. He looks phenomenal, but he's not an actor, from what I know. So, do I think he'll perform well? Most likely, yes. But do I think he will act well? I have no clue. Like, I can't tell you that. And, obviously, there's some great people at the helm, so I trust them. And, we've just grown up with Michael Jackson, like, from the day we were born to probably like 15, it was nothing but that. Like, it was on repeat.
Bro, when he died, shattered the household.
The household
wasn't the same.
We didn't even believe it. Like, it was rough. And there's videos that like we have even to this day on our phones and just of us, singing songs, dressing up as him.
Giving it our all.
Multiple Halloweens, by the way. Multiple Halloweens.
Bro, giving it my all, bro. When I tell you there's videos of me, 7 years old, dancing to Billie Jean. Giving it my all, like I'm literally in Motown. Doing it, bro.
We would have even like a quarter of the rhythm or kind of like able to dance that we have if it wasn't for Michael Jackson. Like, we didn't even, like, our family members have taken dance classes. We didn't even really take dance classes, and we were like popping MJ moves. Like, we were trying to learn it from the most minute detail to the biggest moves, everything from the moonwalk. I remember when I first learned the moonwalk and I got it down, I felt like I was on the moon. Like, I really did. And it was it was amazing, and that's the king of pop. That's the GOAT. And I don't know if any other artist will ever reach the heights of Michael Jackson.
Greatest artist of all time right there, man.
And I'm curious to see what this does. Will it even like do or tackle any of his younger side?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Will we go really through some Jackson 5 stuff? Or is it just the MJ stuff? I'm curious. But yeah, that's just by far the movie. If I had to buy a ticket for one movie all year, Superman's right there, but Michael Jackson's the one where I'm like, I need to watch Michael. Like, I need to see what this movie's about. And go ahead and give your number 1, because I'm really curious what you have here.
My number 1, you probably haven't even noticed that I haven't even said it. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you something. I'm probably the biggest Mission Impossible fan on this side of the platform. I'm gonna say it again. Probably the biggest Mission Impossible fan on this side of the platform. Man, if I could, I would have every Mission Impossible movie on 4K. But like, I don't know why they be upcharging the shit out of those movies on 4K. But let me tell you something. I love the Mission Impossible movies. When I'm talking about Mission Impossible 2, I love the Mission Impossible movies. MI1, MI3, we don't talk about 2, MI4, like Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, bro. I love it. And I'm like, I love Tom Cruise in the Ethan Hunt role. I love the cast that they built around him with Ving Rhames as Luther and, obviously, what's his name? From
Simon Pegg?
Edgar Wright movie, Simon Pegg, obviously. And, Rebecca Ferguson. And I really can't wait for this final reckoning. And then the trailer. Come on, man. The trailer was
amazing.
Oh, that trailer was so good. And watching that trailer in IMAX made my loins tingle. Let me tell you something, man. I cannot wait for this movie. If there was one movie that I could pay a ticket for, and I have to see it. It is this movie right here. I love the franchise. It's said that it's the final movie, so I know they're going out with the bang. I mean, you could tell some of the stunts in the trailer are going to be absolutely ridiculous. It already, if I'm being honest with you, it already looks better than Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning was a banger to me, so I really can't wait. I mean, it's Tom Cruise, it's Christopher McQuarrie, it's the Final Reckoning, it's Mission Impossible. What more need be said? It's my number one.
Well said. That's our top 10 most anticipated movies for this year. Go ahead and drop yours in the comments below. And yeah, if you made it this far, go ahead and let us know your thoughts on our rankings, and also like, subscribe, click the bell, all that jazz. But please, like I said, do not forget to leave your thoughts in the comments down below.